Hey, Vikings faithful. Skol Nation, rise up. It's your purple and gold-obsessed friend here with the hottest Minnesota Vikings news straight from the front lines of free agency. Today, we're diving into the seismic moves at defensive tackle that have us buzzing. Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave are now Vikings. But there's a twist that's got us all on edge. Teaser alert. 2 Pro Bowl beasts are in our trenches. Yet their age has us looking to the future. Could a rising star like Harmon be the next big thing? Picture this. The Vikings war room, buzzing with intensity as GM Kwesi Adofo-Mensah locks in not one, but 2 former Pro Bowlers to shore up our defensive line. Jonathan Allen, a wrecking ball from Washington, and Javon Hargrave, a pass rush maestro from Philly and San Fran, are here to make quarterbacks sweat under Brian Flores' wild schemes. These guys aren't just names. They're game changers, and I'm already dreaming of them collapsing pockets at US Bank Stadium. So why does this matter? Because last season, our defense was a blitz-happy masterpiece. Flores dialed up pressure like a mad genius, but we lacked that interior punch. Allen and Hargrave bring exactly that: elite pass rush profiles with a combined 19.5 sacks in their last full seasons. Vikings fans, are you as hyped as I am? Drop a Skol in the comments if you're ready to see these guys wreak havoc. But hold up, let's pump the brakes for a sec. These 2 studs have something in common that's raising eyebrows. They're both over 30. Allen's 30, Hargrave's 32, and while they're still in their prime today, those 2-year deals they sign mean we've got a ticking clock. Injuries have nagged them too. Allen's torn pec and Hargrave's triceps tear last year remind us nothing's guaranteed. That's where the Vikings' brain trust comes in. Sure, we're set for 2025. Imagine Flores unleashing these guys alongside Harrison Phillips and Jonathan Greenid, but what about 2027? We can't just ride the veteran wave forever. The front office knows it, and they're already scheming to inject some youth into this D-line before Allen and Hargrave's contracts run dry. Here's the kicker. Age doesn't scare us yet. These dudes are still elite. Allen ranked 14th in QB pressures among interior defenders in 2023, and Hargrave's a proven havoc-wreaker when healthy. But as a Vikings diehard, I'm itching to know, how do we future-proof this unit? Stick around, because the answer might be coming straight out of the draft. Now, let's talk options, because the Vikings aren't sleeping on this. Free agency was step 1, but the NFL draft is where dynasties are built, and our defensive tackle spot needs some fresh blood. With Allen and Hargrave locked in for 2 years, we've got a window to groom their successors, and the talent pool's looking juicy. Enter Harmon, Oregon's 6 feet 5 inches, 311-pound beast who's got mock drafts buzzing. Pro Football Focus guru Jordan Plocker pegs him as a first-round fit for us, and I'm drooling over the thought. Harmon's got 45 tackles, 11 for loss, and 5 sacks from his last season with the Ducks. Numbers that scream, Flores dream disruptor. Vikings fans, can you see him crashing the backfield in purple? Here's why this gets me fired up. Harmon's penetration skills are tailor-made for Flores defense. He's versatile, explosive, and knows how to knife through gaps from multiple alignments. Sure, he's got some inconsistencies. Plocker gave him a mid-to-high second-round grade, but that upside? It's the kind of spark that could keep our D-line dominant for years. What do you think? First-round splash or wait for a sleeper? Let's zoom in on Harmon for a minute, because this kid's story is pure Vikings material. He spent 3 seasons grinding at Michigan State before balling out in his 1-year stint at Oregon. Picture him in the Rose Bowl, chasing down quarterbacks with that relentless motor. 45 tackles and 2 forced fumbles don't lie. Folks, what makes him special? Is that knack for getting into the backfield. Something Flores hasn't had enough of since he took over. Our blitz-heavy scheme, tops in the NFL 2 years running, needs guys who can win one-on-ones inside, and Harmon's tape shows he can do it. He's not perfect. Sometimes he's too wild, missing the finish, but the raw talent? Oh, it's there. Imagine this, 2025, Allen and Hargrave are schooling Harmon in training camp, passing the torch to a guy who could anchor our line into the 2030s. Vikings faithful, doesn't that give you chills? Tell me in the comments, would you roll the dice on Harmon at, say, pick 23, or trade back for more ammo? But wait, Harmon's not the only name in the hat. There's another prospect Plocker flagged for day 3, a sleeper who could sneak into our plans. Meet Walker, full name TBD, but his game's got intrigue. He's a big mover for his size, even dropping into coverage like some hybrid freak, which has Flores fingerprints all over it. Here's the catch. Walker's got flaws that could scare us off. His lower half isn't thick or strong, and he loses leverage battles too often. Deal breakers for a classic nose tackle. But those wild movement skills Plucker raves about, they're the kind of chaos Flores loves to unleash, especially if we grab him late, like in round 4 or 5. So, Vikings fans, we've got choices brewing. Do we go big with Harmon early, or snag Walker as a project? I'm torn. Harmon's the safer bet, but Walker's upside could be a steal. Hit me with your draft takes below. Let's debate this like it's Thanksgiving at the tailgate. Let's rewind to why we're even here. Brian Flores. Our defensive mastermind turned this unit into a top 2 DVOA monster last year, second only to the Ravens. Blitz rate, number 1. Opponent EPA per play, smothered. But the one hole? Interior pass rush. Quarterbacks stepped up in the pocket too easily, and it burned us in the playoffs. Allen and Hargrave fixed that, on paper at least. Allen's $17 million a year deal and Hargrave's $15 million scream investment, and I'm all in for it. These guys aren't just stopgaps. They're Pro Bowl pedigrees who've faced double teams and still produced. Hargrave's 2022 season with the Eagles had 11 sacks. Vikings Nation, are we finally closing that gap? The risk? Age and injury. Hargrave played just 3 games last year before his triceps gave out, and Allen's pec tear sidelined him too. If they stay healthy, we're golden for 2025. But if not, that's why Harmon or Walker or both could be our insurance policy. What's your confidence level in this duo right now? Time to dream big. Fam picture US Bank Stadium, Week 1, 2025. Flores dials up a stunt. Allen crashes left, Hargrave loops right, and the QB's got nowhere to go. Sack City. Our edge rushers, Greenid and Van Ginkel, feast off the chaos inside. That's the vision, and it's got... But here's the suspense. Can Allen and Hargrave hold up? 2 years is a gamble at their age, and we've been burned by injury bugs before. Mekhi Blackman and TJ Hawkinson missing chunks of time last year still stings. Are we one tweak away from disaster? Or is this the year we stay healthy? Weigh in below. Let's talk money because this wasn't cheap. Allen's the 15th highest paid DT in the league, Hargrave's 18th. Over $30 million combined per year. Some analysts, like ESPN's Ben Solak, winced at the price tags, especially with their injury histories. Me? I say if you're fixing a problem, go all in. Flores deserves the tools. The Vikings cap space took a hit, $21.9 million left for 2025, per over the cap, and we're negative $16.6 million in 2026. That's tight, but Kwesi's playing chess, not checkers. These signings scream win now, and with J.J. McCarthy potentially at QB, we're building a contender. Are you cool with the big spending, or does it make you nervous? Here's the flip side value. If Allen and Hargrave return to Pro Bowl form, say, 15 combined sacks in 2025, it's a steal. If they flop, we're stuck with aging vets and no depth. That's the stakes, Vikings fans. What's your gut telling you about this gamble? Hit the comments. Halfway there, and the plot thickens. Let's circle back to Flores' strategy because it's the heartbeat of this whole thing. He loves chaos. Blitzing from every angle, confusing QBs, making them panic. Last year, we led the league with a 40% blitz rate, but without interior push, it was like a storm with no thunder. Allen and Hargrave bring the boom. Allen's got that quick first step, 14 pressures in 2023 before his injury, and Hargrave's a bull when healthy, collapsing pockets like it's personal. Pair them with Phillips, who's a run-stuffing anchor, and suddenly our front four's a nightmare. Vikings faithful. Can you feel the QB panic from here? But the suspense builds. Will it work? Flores' scheme thrives on versatility, and these guys fit. Hargrave even said he's stoked to play in this pressure cooker. Yet, if they can't stay on the field, we're back to square one. What's your bold prediction for their sack total this year? Throw me a number. Let's get nerdy with some stats, because us Vikings fans love the details. Last season, Our interior D-line was a weak link. PFF gave our DTs a 35.2 run defense grade from Week 14 on 31st in the league. Pass rush? Jerry Tillery and Jonathan Bullard tried, but we averaged just 2.5 sacks from the middle all year. Ouch. Allen and Hargrave flipped that script. In 2022, Hargrave's 60 pressures ranked top 10 among DTs, and Allen's 7.5 sacks in 2023 were clutch before he went down. That's the juice we've been missing. Flores can't blitz every snap, and now he won't have to. Are you buying this as the fix we've prayed for? Or is it too good to be true? The catch? Run defense. Hargrave's graded a shaky 36.2 against the run since 2020, 120th out of 132 DTs. Allen's better, but not elite there either. Our rush D was 4th in yards allowed last year, so maybe it's fine, but could this be our Achilles heel? Tell me what you're seeing. Fam. Okay, let's pivot to the draft again because Harmon's got me obsessed. At 6 feet 5 inches, 311 pounds, he's a mountain with moves. Think Aaron Donald light, but raw. His 11 tackles for loss last year show he's got that backfield nose, and Flores could mold him into a monster. Vikings fans, are we sleeping on this kid? The buzz is real. ESPN ranks him 28th overall, 4th among DTs, and he's climbing mock drafts fast. If he's there at our pick, say 23rd or so, do we pounce? Or do we trade back, grab Walker later, and stack more picks? Kwesi's got just 4 selections this year, so every move's gotta count. What's your draft day play call? Here's the dream scenario. Harmon's our first rounder, learns from Allen and Hargrave, and by 2026, he's starting. Continuity, youth, upside, it's the Vikings way. But if he's gone early, Walker's wild card vibe could be fun. Which routes got your vote? Skol Nation. Let's argue it out. Time to zoom out. How does this all fit the Vikings' big picture? We're coming off a 13-4 season, 2nd in DVOA, but that wild card loss to the Rams still stings. Flores D was elite, yet the interior weakness let QBs like Matthew Stafford step up and carve us. No more excuses in 2025. Allen and Hargrave signal intent. We're not rebuilding, we're reloading. With J.J. McCarthy maybe slinging it, Justin Jefferson torching DBs, and this beefed-up D-line, we're a Super Bowl threat. Book it. But it's all on health and execution. Vikings fans, are we finally built to go the distance? Or is this another tease? The suspense is killing me. 2 aging stars, a draft X-Factor, and Flores mad scientist vibes. If it clicks, we're unstoppable. If it flops, we're cursing injuries again. What's your vibe, championship or bust? Drop your hot takes below. Let's get real for a sec. This is personal for us Vikings fans. We've watched our D evolve under Flores, from a middling unit to a top-tier terror. But that Super Bowl drought is 48 years and counting. Allen and Hargrave aren't just signings. They're hope, a chance to finally break through. Think about it, 2025 could be our year. These vets bring experience. Allen's got 67 career sacks, Hargrave's at 47.5, and if Harmon pans out, we're set for the long haul. I'm tearing up imagining that Lombardi trophy in Minneapolis. Can you feel it too? Or am I dreaming too big? The tension's real, though. We've been here before, big moves, big hype, then heartbreak. Will Allen and Hargrave stay upright? Will Harmon be the future? Vikings faithful, I need your gut check. Are we cursed? Or is this our turning point? Spill it in the comments. Penultimate scene, and it's prediction time. I'm calling it Allen and Hargrave combined for 12 sacks in 2025, if they play 14 games each. Harmon, if we draft him, he's a rotational guy year 1, 3 sacks, then explodes in 2026. Flores D finishes top 5 again, and we're hosting a playoff game. Skol. But it's not all rosy. If injuries hit, we're leaning on backups like Levi Drake Rodriguez and the depth's thin. Walker could be a bust if his leverage issues don't fix. The Vikings' fate hangs on health and youth clicking. Classic high risk, high reward. What's your stat line for these guys? Here's the cliffhanger. Week 1, Allen sacks the QB, Harmon strips the ball, and the crowd goes wild. Or, they're on the sideline hurt and we're sweating. Which scene are you betting on, Vikings fans? Paint me your 2025 vision. I'm all ears. All right, Skol Nation, we've made it. The Vikings defensive tackle overhaul Allen, Hargrave, maybe Harmon, is our 2025 obsession. From free agency fireworks to draft day dreams, this is Minnesota football at its most electric. I'm pumped. I'm nervous. I'm all in. Are you? Rewind the tape. 2 Pro Bowl vets, a ticking age clock, and a florist scheme begging for chaos. It's a roller coaster, but that's why we bleed purple. Whether it's dominance or disaster, we're riding this together. So, what's your final take? Super Bowl